You explain this one. Hey, the broadcast is live. I see that. It said it right there.
All
Broadcast is
right.
live.
Welcome
This is
back to
cool.
another episode. Welcome back to the channel, Sibling Rivalry. I'm
We
Lynn.
late. We
This
late.
is Ray.
We late.
So I
Explain
was
yourself,
I was
woman.
putting I was putting away groceries. And when you buy a lot of groceries and you're putting them away and you kind of just want to like taste everything, just start eating everything right now. That's what I got caught up doing. I'm still eating.
On
I made
show
this
day.
sandwich.
On show day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other than Taco Tuesday today, it's also buy groceries and delay the show day.
Yeah.
Grocery shopping,
So I
huh?
don't usually do groceries on Tuesday. I was
Yeah,
so
I did. Yeah, you should keep that. Stick to that.
I was so proud of myself. I put the kids on the bus. I went straight to the grocery store. I usually just order my groceries ahead of time and I pick it up, and it's just I didn't do that yesterday. So
I get it, but I can't even blame the grocery shopping because you said you got home at 10:15.
yeah.
I can only blame you. All right, so you would have look. This story would have been so dope 30 minutes ago. Could have been like, oh my gosh, she's so efficient. She did shopping and then she jumped on and did the show.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I did. That's exactly what I did.
Do you see how 30 minutes can change how people can perceive you? 30 minutes ago, you would have been like, man, she's on point. Now, 30 minutes later, you a slacker. You just horrible. You late. Tardy. Jeez, come on, man. 30 minutes could do.
Now.
What'd you do?
I restocked. I have all my treats now.
Yeah, I know. We're drinking one. The orange ones that you gave us. My youngest is the only one that likes it. Everybody else is like, yeah, I don't like this.
Like it?
I mean, I'll drink any of those. They're good. But yeah, my youngest is like, it tastes like orange soda. And my older two were like, nah, man. Oh, what are you talking about? What up, Fuzz? Good morning.
I've tried a bunch of flavors, and my favorite is the strawberry mango. I'll show you guys what we're drinking. I've got It's so weird because my camera's not mirrored. I'm so used to it being mirrored. Whatever I do, it's opposite on the screen.
Adapt and overcome. You got stuck there?
I did.
You're not in the mirror universe anymore? Yo, did you hear the news?
Oh, Lord. I probably haven't.
There's aliens.
Stop it.
Yeah, I just saw that this morning. I guess they go to Congress and they're talking. U.S. Navy, they're like, yeah, we saw them. I don't know. We saw them. What do you want us to say?
So, wait, but have they, told us, officially, hey, Area 51 is really...
Well, no, they're just saying oh, we saw stuff and oh, we don't know what it is.
Flying saucer.
But it's funny because I like all the headlines that are coming out. It's like, is UFOs good for crypto?
What?
yeah. I'm seeing all sorts of weird headlines. Since we always looking up cannabis, I'm like, do the UFO like weed? I don't know. Let's ask them.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It reminds me of Independence Day when everybody went up on the roof and they were like, "Welcome!"
Yeah, and then they got blown the fuck up.
That's it. They're done.
Yeah, they're done. They were done. I wouldn't do that. I would wait and see. I'd be like, let's see what their intentions are. I'll wait for the next one. That's all I'll say. I'll wait for the next one. There'll be another party. They're like, welcome. Yeah, that one chick, she was on the rooftop. She was like, welcome. And then the light beam just... Oh, that was classic. Oh, that was awesome. Did you ever watch the sequel to that movie?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, it was horrible. Don't watch it. It was just not even the same. Independence Day 2. More independence.
Yeah, what the hell happened? The aliens came back again?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was horrible. It's funny too, because there's so many classic lines and images and scenes in the first one. I remember, right? The dad flying the plane. He's like, "I'm going up your ass," and then the president and his speech and everything. And then the father, he was like Jeff Goldblum's dad. He was like, if it wasn't for my David, if it wasn't for my David. Oh, that movie's great. But then the second one, I don't remember shit. I don't know. I don't even know. Will Smith didn't even come back for that one.
I watch Independence Day like every year. Like that's one movie that I.
Yeah, that's like the movie you watch on Independence Day. July, yeah. 4th of July. You watch that shit. But I don't remember the second one. What happened? That was random.
The stupid like traditions that we do as humans. Like, oh yeah, Independence Day. I'm gonna watch the Independence movie.
You don't watch Groundhog on Groundhog Day?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's a great movie too.
Yeah, that's a movie that I don't really remember.
Classics, man.
Like if I were to watch it,
oh,
it'd be brand new to me.
Speaking of Bill Murray, do you hear he got in trouble?
No, what happened?
I guess he was on set and he said something inappropriate, and now they're trying to cancel Bill Murray.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They're trying to cancel him. I'm like, really? Oh shoot! You can put comments on.
I can.
Yo, I
to try that.
That's so dumb. I'm just watching it. Just popped up. Ray, did you hear that Alec Baldwin is going to complete his Rust film after the fatal shooting? That is crazy. That guy should just do some time. But you know what? That goes to show. Like, I see once again. I'm optimistic. I always try to look at the positive of everything, right? Mm-hmm. That just motivates me to be an elite, bro. Because when you're an elite, you're sheltered. This guy literally killed somebody, and he's gonna finish a movie. Like if you killed somebody, you'll be in jail. Yeah. Right? Any one of us, manslaughter, boom, you're done.
Yeah.
He killed somebody. Oh, I didn't mean to do it. Oh, okay, Alec Baldwin, you didn't mean to do it. Go ahead, finish your movie.
But isn't that like a common thing? Like, it's like a common way for actors to get hurt is when they have like guns on set.
Well, who was it on The Crow? The movie The Crow with Brandon Lee, which was Bruce Lee's son. Mm-hmm. He died like that. I believe that's how. I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that was the same thing. Like they shot him, and he got shot on set and died.
Yeah.
Hollywood privilege, yeah, man. Not even just Hollywood privilege, bro. Elite privilege, my guy. Elite privilege. Look at Elon Musk right now. Elon Musk is literally tweeting, and every time he tweets, he makes money. He could be like, "Yo, Twitter's shit." You don't think he shorted Twitter? You don't think he shorted Twitter? He's like, yo, Twitter's shit. Boom, stocks tank. He's making money. Come on. That's like elite privilege, and I want some of it. I want some of that cut. I want to get on that. Yo, seriously, I'm not going to hate. I admire it. Like when they were like, remember when they had the whole big debate about Trump and his taxes? Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, this man never paid taxes. I'm like, yeah, he did. He made it look like he took a loss, right? Mm-hmm. This is like a trading 101. Like when your portfolio's down, you sell it so that it shows like you're in a loss, and then you buy it right back. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, they do that like at the end of the year. They'll go and they'll sell it, and then they'll buy it right back like in the beginning of the year. And so it looks like on paper that you had this massive loss, right? So then you don't pay taxes because you have this massive loss. So like people are like, freaking the lemmings, right? The NPCs out here, they're like, you don't pay taxes. I'm like, no, those are the loopholes. They're there for a reason. Yeah. Those are the loopholes to keep the rich rich. Like if you don't understand it, because you ain't rich. You ain't tapping into that, right? It's like with the housing. Like, well, they changed the laws, but like back in the day, man, whatever interest on your home, the taxes on your home, all that was write-offs. Mm-hmm. Like I had
you can still claim that on your taxes.
Well, it's to a certain limit. Like they changed it. But before I was getting like getting nice returns because of all that stuff. But I took a real estate course, right? And the guy in the real estate course, he was like, "Yo, everything I do is for a tax write-off." Mm-hmm. He's like, "That is my main principle. It's not just okay, I'm flipping homes. Because he was flipping homes. He was doing he was buying mobile homes. He was calling them tin cans of money." Because he would just buy the mobile homes and rent them joints out. Okay. He would flip homes. He would buy multifamily. Like he was all over the place with real estate. But his biggest like he said the most time consuming thing was getting tax write-offs, where he was working on like everything like he would do, like home office tax write-off, clothes that he would buy. He was like, why would I buy somebody else's name brand when I could have my business logo on here? Tax write-off. His car had a magnet with the business on it. Tax write-off. He was like, oh, it's advertising. Every time I'm driving, it's advertising. So his car payment was a tax write-off, right? So this is like, these are the things, like you got to step your game up to the next level. Stop hating. Yeah. Like listen, watch what they do and then try to mimic it. You know, you may not do it the best way, but you ride on the wave. Like right now, they're playing something right now crazy in the market right now, right? Between the feds, and that's why I'm like so tired right now, because I stayed up last night. I was watching about the feds. I was like, bro, I was up to like 3 a.m. So like after this, I'm gonna go take a nap because I'm just done. But I'm just like I'm so in awe. Like I'm like my portfolio's down, and I'm like, how they do this? How was I such a chump? Like let me learn. Let me learn your ways. I'm going to the dark side.
Yeah, because it's true. Like for me, I'm riding this slump, you know, and like I'm hoping that like once it like catches wind and everything starts heading back up, like, you know, I'll make money again. But you know, like there are people who like they pulled out, you know, like even you pulled out, and you know, like once it went real low, that's when they bought back in, and they're gonna ride it again.
I used to live.
Gains on gains.
Yeah. Gains on fear, pretty much. And that's to me like that. Look, I've been watching this for a minute. Right, I've been in at least crypto since 2017. I've been looking at trading, you know, 2015, and I enjoy it all. Like the downturns, the upturns, all of it. Like the rush you get when you're up, the fear you get when you're down. It's just like I love it all. Like to me, it's the maximized potential for me. Like a loner. Like I don't like being around people. I'm antisocial. I'll say it. You know, I get contempt just being alone. Right. And trading, that's like that unlocks that potential. I can have a good life, but not have to deal with other people. I don't have to have a boss. I don't have to have coworkers. I don't need to deal with any of that shit. Right. So that plus I just love money. I just love the whole thing of it. It's literally just money. Like, all right, if I buy this at this and I sell it at this, I got you. Oh, that's good. Well, good morning. I'm just ranting. We're 12 minutes in, and I'm like, what are we even doing?
No, we're just catching up. This is what we do. We jump on here.
Catching up. How was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. I have more kittens.
I heard Jack Sparrow is a horrible name.
I have to just tell you.
I have to just let me go on another rant. We're gonna pivot on another rant. Today is a rant. Ray rants today. I hate it when people name pets because it goes with dogs and cats like 2 words. Okay. Like, are you literally gonna sit out there and call for your cat the 2 words? Are you gonna be outside as a human being outside and be like, here, Jack Sparrow, where are you? Jack Sparrow, come on, Jack Sparrow. Like, you really gonna do that?
No, you cut it up. You give them nicknames.
Then what? They'll just name him the nickname.
No, that's not how it works. No, you know what I don't like about pet owners? I don't like when they name their pets after
humans. That's the worst too.
What?
Like you got a dog named Mandy or something. Like that's just the worst.
Right. Like, oh.
Here, JoJo. And you're thinking it's their kid, and here goes a little fat little dog. Where's my treat? No, dogs should have created names. Like, listen, if your porn name is creative, right? Right, it's the first street that you lived in, and your first pet name, right? You don't want like, all right, so our street was Fletcher, right? And if our first dog was or cat was named JoJo, well, you'd be Fletcher JoJo. That's a horrible name. Whereas you do it the other way, right? You could go, what was your cat's name?
Sylvester.
Named him a Simba? No, your first cat. Or did you just call him Kitty?
Kitty. Yeah, Kitty.
Right, just Kitty, right? All right, Fletcher Kitty. That sounds dumb. I was like, oh, okay. Your thoughts on Spain is set to become the first country in Europe to offer menstrual leave, capped at 3 days per month for employees suffering period pain while at work. You know what? Ladies, you can keep on fighting. And look, I applaud you. Get all that you want. Go right ahead. But the realistic thing is, as a worker, right? Regardless of who you are, you're a machine to the system. If you're not producing, you're going to get cut. Sorry. And you wonder why there's a pay cap and now you want to be out, what, a week every month? Good luck. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck. Good luck.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I think it's awesome. I don't know if I would call it menstrual leave. I don't know how I feel about that as a woman. Like, I don't like that. But you know, as a woman, like, I understand that some months are really, really bad. It sucks, and there's nothing you could do about it. You know, you could try and take some Midol, some Aleve, and sometimes that just doesn't work. Sometimes your body just needs rest.
I get that, but you got to also understand you're competing with men who don't have to go through this, right? Plus, if you're looking at all the stuff that happened in the last 10 years, just to go on this rant too, you're talking about Me Too that's been, you know, work harassment, right? All this stuff that's been compiling that a lot of businesses, especially small companies, they're starting to say like, no, women is trouble. Women cause problems, and we're not going to hire them because we need people who produce. Right? It's just a business. So you do A and B, and I pay you.
Let's just, as a society, go back to letting the women just do whatever they want all day, hang out with the kids, clean the house.
I'm all for that. Look, listen, I'm all for that. I tried doing that, but then, you know, somebody wanted to be strong and independent. So, like I said, look, as much as I know, like, people are, oh, Ray sounds like a chauvinist, he's chauvinistic, or oh, he's misogynist, or, you know, he's sexist, whatever they want to say. But I'm a traditional, like me, I was raised as a traditional man. Right? Mama was like, yo, you got to be a gentleman. You got to take care of the bills and all this. Unfortunately, me as a traditional man, I'm out here dating modern women. So it's like, do I want to be a modern man? Not really, because I feel like, you know, there's a lot of manipulation there. There's a lot of mind games. You know, there's a lot of, to a certain extent, you know, very selfishness. I'm not a selfish type of person. That's just not me. So, you know, I'm tapping out. Unless I can find a unicorn, a traditional woman, like you said, who wants to stay at home, right? And wants to, you know, find that balance. Whereas I cover one thing, she covers something else, whatever that may be, that's in our marriage to determine. But I got to lead the way as a traditional man. But these ladies, yo, you want to compete? Go ahead, be competitive then. Yo, you keep competing in the dating scene. Well, guess what? Men are tapping out, right? Men are saying, "Nah, I'm done with this. I want to find somebody who compliments me, not competes with me."
Right.
Right? Keep being difficult in the workforce. Guess what? People are like, "I'm going to hire the people who stay quiet." Those seems like they're men. They don't. You see men out there with picket signs, and they're over here picking with women. Which I've seen that. Yo, I've seen dudes dress up in what's that show on Hulu where they wear the red thing? And they got like the hood and everything. There was dudes dressed up like that, and I'm like, what where's your
which show?
Where's your testicles? Yeah, there's a show on Hulu. Mm-hmm. Can you search?
Yeah,
right now. Yeah, and then see if you could bring it up. That would be perfect. There's a show on Hulu where The Handmaid's Tales. I think that's what it's called. Something Tales. And it's supposed to be like, oh, the patriarch, and oh, this is how they want women. And it's like, no, we don't want you to be like that. We just want you guys to I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. You guys just complain too much. That's all I say. It's like you guys complain too much. So yeah, you know what? Spain wants to do it. Go right ahead. I applaud them because I honestly was starting to fight this stuff, and now it's funny. Like it's going a full circle with the lunacy, where it's like the whole trans like debate, right? And letting women in like letting trans women in women competition, and now there's literally men. It's men who are winning these competitions. It's like you guys are kicking yourself in the right here. Yeah. So there's men in these protests that are just up like that. I'm like, bro,
like this with the hood and everything.
Yeah, they're straight up men who are like in these, because they're all protesting because of the abortion and all that, and there's men dressed up like that. I'm like, bro, are you serious?
Your body is no longer your own.
I'm like,
so
serious?
All right, so I have a question for you. So how do you feel about, men who support other issues for women, like, who are there, like, picketing with women for, like, women's rights, and not a specific right, just in general? How do you feel about men standing in solidarity with, something that doesn't affect them?
Um, how do I explain this one? I feel bad for them in a certain sense because they think that they're an ally, and look, once again, it sounds horrible when you say things like this, but you got to deep dive into the things. Like you got to deep dive into what you're seeing. Like when you say, oh, a man standing by BLM, a white guy standing by BLM, right? Or a man standing by women's, rights and all this. Like it's noble. It's noble. And I get some of these guys are doing it just because they want to be noble, right? They feel good. They want to fight for something that they believe in, but they're being manipulated. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, they're being manipulated. And a lot of these causes, people are being manipulated. Like I keep asking, like, what more rights do women want? Like the whole abortion thing is not even pro-choice because if it was really about pro-choice, right? Really, what it is, it's pro-abortion. It's not pro-choice because if it was pro-choice, then a man should be able to choose if he wants to pay child support or not. It's like, look, if you have the option to have it or not, right? Because you have the option to tap out with an abortion, then I should have the option to say, I'm not ready to be a dad. Like you could say, I'm not ready to be a mom, and I don't want to pay child support. But then everybody's like, no. So then where's the pro-choice in that?
Okay.
I keep asking that argument every single time.
So I might be incorrect, but there are men who don't take care of their kids. Like it's not like, oh my God, child support is mandatory. Like there are men who
but what's the stigma?
Not to be, who choose not to sign the birth certificate.
Granted, I completely agree with that. But what's the stigma? Debbie daddy. But yeah, you don't have these deadbeat mommies. Oh my God, I saw the most disgusting thing. I saw a lady, she put a tattoo on her stomach. It's on Twitter. She put a tattoo of her stomach, and it looks like it's like a fetus with a bullet hole in its head. I mean, this is how crazy things are getting. Like, why is that not shamed? Why is that not being called out as a deadbeat mommy? Mm-hmm. Right? So dad decides to walk away.
Though. It's not like that's like, a movement going on where all these women are getting that tattoo. That's like the oddball out. Mm-hmm. But there are going to be that regardless for everything. There's always going to be something
right. Like, and what you're saying, right. And that goes back to the whole oddball out as far as like deadbeat daddies. We still got Father's Day. We still got dads out there who stand by their kids, right? There's still a lot of dads out there who's getting hosed by the system, but they're still doing what they want to do with their kids. There's a lot of dads out there who are getting hosed by the system, wants more time with their kids, and they can't.
Right.
Because the system is holding them down like that. But yeah, nobody argues these things. And that's what really irks me, is that these men will go and they'll protest, right, for women's rights, even though I feel like women have more rights than men do. Mm-hmm. And yet they won't acknowledge anything for men's rights, right? Because, men was always privileged in history, right? But it's today. Look at today, not history. Look at today.
Right.
Like, I don't care what people did 100 years ago. Like, I don't give a rat's ass about slavery. I really don't. I didn't live it, right? I know our history. We were a product of slavery, but I don't care. Because I didn't live it. I wasn't there. Nobody hurt me today. If anything, today I've got a massive opportunities, right? A lot of opportunities that I slept on because of me, personally, my own faults. So, like, why should, like, reparations? Like, it's funny because I was watching Atlanta, right? We're going all in today. You got me started on a Tuesday. But this is how we do. We do it hard on Tuesday. Then we go easy on Thursday. But like I was watching the show Atlanta, right? And there was an episode where they were doing DNA tests of white people, right? And if it was proven that their heritage or their ancestors held slaves, right? Then they would do the DNA test of the slaves that they own, right? So they would trace it back to this day, right? And they'd be like, oh, now you owe that person a portion of your pay. And then it was
crazy.
taxes that literally you had it was called reparation taxes. And so it was like 10 or 15%.
But did you volunteer to like be a part of this DNA test thing, or were they just like, oh no?
No, I think it was just like something like a bill that they passed. Everybody was getting tested. It was pulling up on websites. This guy, it was a funny episode because like this guy, somebody comes knocking on his door, right? And he's just like a regular white dude, right? Somebody comes knocking on his door. And she's like on TikTok and she's like, you owe me money. And I was like, what? And so sure enough, like that was what it was. And so he like out of your paycheck, you know, Social Security, right? Medicaid, right? That's what you get, and then reparations tax. And I'm like,
Wow.
that's insane. That's insane because right now, like I keep telling you, the modern day workforce is modern day slavery.
Right.
So it's like I'm glad I'm pure blood Chinese. There you go, Fuzz. There you go. But you know what? They even tell you they even they knock on Asians when it comes to like the minority scale. Like they're starting to lump Asians into white people now because they work, right?
Really?
Like they always had a good work ethics. Yeah, so they're starting to
Okay.
lump them over in with white people. Correct me if I'm
Hmm.
wrong, Fuzz, but isn't that what's going on with the whole like Asian category? They're lumping them in with
I mean,
uh like
I don't know much
you
about
can't
it, but
be
I know
outraged.
they had a movement for Chinese people recently because they were getting picked on too. They
Mm-hmm.
it's just racism. It's our
Yeah.
modern day
It's
humor
listen, it's
that
hatred, and hatred
it's hurting
lives
people.
everywhere. Yeah, it
Hmm.
lives everywhere. That's how our society is. And that's why it's
Hmm.
funny when people are like, "Oh, black people can't be racist." Yeah, they can.
Hmm.
Just like women can be sexist. It's like you guys say all these like caveats because you want to paint a certain bad guy, and it's like no, people can be bad guys.
Yeah.
Just like people, there are good people out there, and I believe more than not that there's a lot more good people out there, and that's why a lot
Hmm.
of these good people they get manipulated because they don't know any better. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm joining a cause, but then they
I
don't
think
really
all these
understand what the
movements,
cause
the
is.
thing is, all these movements, they start with, one person who has a vision,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who sees like something that they feel is unjust and they're
Right.
taking action. They're like, hey, like, I don't think this is fair and I want change. And they're rallying people behind them. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, while some causes don't have like the purest intentions at heart, I think that, we have to give people credit for, stepping up and, you know, speaking up for stuff that
Mm-hmm.
they feel is unjust.
It's you know what it is that like I feel like society. Look, don't get me wrong. The movements that were going on in like the 50s, 60s, even sometimes in the 70s were all
Hmm.
just movements, right? That was in the time where those movements were necessary,
Hmm.
right? Like MLK, awesome. The women's right, feminist movements, awesome. But now moving forward, it feels like in society, we never got to a point where we're like, okay, now that we got what we were fighting for, how do we proceed forward? How
Hmm.
do we heal? And I don't think we never healed. And a lot of it, look, you could still say that there's racism, of course. It's never going to go away. That's just the
Hmm.
difference in people. There's, like I said, people have hatred in them. That's what it is. Just stay away from that. But you got to ask yourself, how do we get out of that victim mentality and how we move forward? Like I keep asking myself, like, what more rights do women want?
Right.
Like I don't see it. And then like as a minority, there's so much opportunities out there. And the crazy part about it is that society has reverse racism, which is honestly at the end of the day, it's just racism.
Hmm.
Whereas me as a minority, I could apply for a job, and it's happened multiple times where I put, they ask you, hey, what are you? Hispanic. And so that
Yeah.
means because I'm a minority, I get first dibs on this job over maybe a better qualified white guy.
Hmm.
And that's just
That's
racist.
absolutely right. Yeah.
You're right, Ray. In the Chappelle Show racial draft, Asians are considered closer to white people because we contribute more than we take. Absolutely, 100%. And there's and honestly, the racism in there is there's an animosity that even though through history, Chinese, especially the Chinese, they've been persecuted so much in U.S. history. There's a lot of shows that shows that. Like
Hmm.
they helped build the railroads and all that, but they were treated just like slaves. But
Right.
yet they were able to what? Build values and
They
also
persevered through their values.
persevere. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at the statistically, after white people, the next ones that are right there, as far as like income, annual income, and
Hmm.
money and lifestyle and all that, is
Hmm.
Asians. And it's
Yeah.
like that's why it's almost like a jealousy. Like, how dare you? How can you make it, but Latinos and blacks are held down still? It's like,
Hmm.
no, maybe because you got to change your culture within.
Yes.
Because what do? You always, what's the stereotypes of Asians? Oh, you got to do good in math, or you got to do good in school, right? Not to play
Hmm.
into those, but that those are the families, right? Oh, we're third generation. You can't let us down, right? You
Hmm.
got to do good. Same thing
There's
with
a
I
sense
have
of
a
pride, there's a sense of pride, and they're held
yes.
accountable. Like, hey, like you're going to disgrace the family, and it
Hmm.
means something.
Right. I have an Indian friend who I have a few Indian friends actually, and they all come from the same thing. They're like, yo, my parents are like really aggressive. Like they want me to do good and all this. One of
Yeah.
them, he works actually for the Federal Reserve, which is really good. He's making good money. But he was in that arranged marriage. And I was like, bro, that's awesome. I'm in awe with the whole arranged marriage thing
Hmm.
because it's just the whole concept of it. It's just like you are, you have your friends and family going back and forth, right? You got to
Hmm.
make sure they know you, so they know your character. So if you're not a decent person, they're not gonna vouch for you, right? Because
Right.
they don't want to lose face in their community. So it's just like the whole concept of it to me, that's almost like the only piece of like traditional marriage that we still have, in this day and age is that arranged marriage. Other than that, it's what you see. People people get married and they're done in like a couple of years. Asians need to score over 4.0 and have extra talent to get into Harvard and Yale. Yeah, but you know what? They've been instilled with that ever since they were, kids, right, from their family. And the fact that they're getting into Harvard and Yale, that's like that. Their numbers is probably a lot more than other communities. Why? Because we don't strive for that, right? At least I know we weren't told that. No, no, offense to Ma, but it was just like we didn't have that in our mindset.
Right.
I know what the only thing that Ma really promoted, and I'm thankful to this day, is she promoted, learn computers, go to college,
Hmm.
right? That was it. She didn't know how to do any of that. She didn't know, how to leverage any of that. She was just, computers, go to college. And if I ever messed up in school, she had the belt on my ass. That was it.
Indian parents are
Indian
the
parents
hardest.
are the hardest. Yes,
Yep.
yes, and that's what I was getting at. That I have two friends. One who, he went through the arranged marriage. Don't get me wrong, he was a player. Like he was a player before he went through all of that. Like, he had his fun, but finally his parents was like, "Yo, you got to get serious." And my other friend, he is constantly like he was running a gas station. He's running a laundromat. Like his parents are constantly pushing him into these like self-made businesses. And
Yeah.
every time I talk to him, he's always tired. He's like, I don't really want to do this, but I got to do it for the family.
Hmm.
And it's like he still lives at home with his parents. I think he lives at home with his grandparents. It's like multi-generational, which
Hmm.
we always talked about that. Like, we need to get back to that.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy living with your parents, but it's like you save so much money that way.
Hmm.
You build, you build your foundation. Like that's your support. That's also where you get your values. It's like
Hmm.
we've lost that in society. We've lost it because we've been focusing too much on the individual.
Yeah.
So, bam, I've been ranting. You tell I had
Well,
coffee
but
this
then, so
morning.
then this goes right into like our topic for today, which is tapping into our full potential. And I mean, I think it's pretty like self-explanatory, like what that is. Just like
Hmm.
being able to do all it is that you are able to do.
Right.
But let's break that down. Like for me, I feel like the first part of that is um like the wisdom that comes with being able to see things from different perspectives.
Yes.
Like you have to get to a point where it's not just about what you think. You're able to, think of things from someone else's perspective. Like put yourself in someone else's shoes or take yourself out of your own shoes and look at
Hmm.
exactly what's going on, how you're reacting to the
Right.
situation, what it's creating around you.
And when you look at things in perspective, it's also what's your vision?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I got from this topic and what's my inspiration is what I see on YouTube. Like I see these YouTube channels, right? And for example, there's one YouTube channel where this guy is building van conversions, right? I love the whole van life thing. So he'll go and he'll do the time lapse, and I'm like, man, look at the equipment he got. Like he really bought money to get these power tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
These saws to cut the wood because he's building everything, by hand. And I'm like, man, he's a carpenter. In any term, any other definition you want to call it, he's a carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you deep dive into how he unlocked his full potential, he's also a video. He's a, what's the word for somebody who videotapes? I forgot.
Videographer.
Yeah, he's a videographer. He's an editor, right? He's a
Mm-hmm.
marketer, right? He's selling merch, so he's a merchant. He's a carpenter. Then he's doing these van conversions and selling them, right? So he's like a used car salesman. Like, look at all the different titles that he has, right, for this channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, in the end, he gets the nice title of YouTuber or influencer, right?
Right.
But he followed his passion. And what was his first passion? He wanted to play with wood.
Mm-hmm.
whatever joke you want to put in there, that was it. He just wanted to build things. And so he's finally just tapping into building things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's unlocking all this stuff, and it's like there's so much potential. Like we tend to lock ourselves into one category, right? Oh, I'm this. This is my career. This is what I do. This is all I know. And it's like when you think about what else, and you just start researching, you start applying yourself, there's so much potential that you have. So the question is, how do we unlock that? How do we say, you know what? I want to be this. 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 They say
that kind of encompasses like one of the other keys to unlocking your potential, which is like tapping into your inner resources, your inner tools.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's a great example of this guy doing that. Like he
Mm-hmm.
is able to use power tools and build something. He's also a visionary. He was able to
Right.
see something and bring that to life. And he is doing the behind the scenes, like as far as like the techie side of recording your videos and editing them and posting them. Like he's doing exactly that. He's tapping into multiple resources that he already has within him.
Right.
That's something that we all need to learn how to do. Like just because you're an accountant doesn't mean that you can't do a backyard project on the weekend.
Exactly. Right. It's like you could be a jack of all trades. Yeah. Yep. And it's funny because when you say jack of all trades, people are like, what's the ending of that statement? Jack of all trades, master of none, right? But no, that's not. That's
like the shorter version.
Incorrect. No, you can master all these things if you just start somewhere and you just find that you say, you know what, I want to do this. I want to learn it. Like there's musicians out there. I've seen them on YouTube too, where they got a whole YouTube channel and they're just following their passion of being a musician. So they have a talent, right? There's this one guy where he plays a guitar and he goes and he asks people if they want to sing. And people will be like, oh, I don't know. And like, come on, come sing. Any song you want. And then people are like, okay, do you know this song? And then they'll go and they'll play the song. Oh, what are you pulling up? and then he'll be playing the guitar, and they'll be singing a song. And these are the clips, and I love it. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. And then you see like this guy got like 1 million followers, and wherever he goes, he'll be like, yo, I'm thinking about going here. And then people are be like, oh, you can stay with me. And so he's just, living his life, but he mastered, his potential. If that makes any sense. Like, it's like, it's not a lavish lifestyle, but to when I see him, I feel like he's content.
Right.
And that's the ultimate dream.
Yeah. So, I mean, you brought up this whole like jack of all trades, and I struggled with it for a while because I felt like, people would call me like, oh, you're a Jane of all trades. You can do anything.
Yada, you are. Yada.
And, but oftentimes we end it with, oh, a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Right.
It's actually longer than that. And that's why I pulled up here. It's a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Yeah, you go.
That simply means like, hey, like, yeah, being able to do a little bit of everything isn't something that we should be frowning upon. It's something that we should be, embracing because that's someone who has so much more potential. That's someone who's trying everything and making things happen.
And most times, the reason why people say that term is because you have not yet found a way to capitalize on all your trades. So somebody will be like, wow, then you could do all this stuff. And the reason why they'll go forward, oh, but you're a jack of all trades, and and they'll go down that road is because they haven't seen the outcome of the fact that you know how to do all this stuff.
Right.
Right? Like, for example, You know how to make those gorgeous, wedding cakes, birthday, baby shower cakes, all the diaper cakes, all that stuff. You're very creative with all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then people are like, oh, well, then they see lost potential because you haven't capitalized on it. So now if you learn how to market, which is really, that's all down, the bottom line is that you got to learn how to market.
Mm-hmm.
You learn how to market that, and now you could pivot, right? Open a storefront, do all that stuff, sell that, be I told you multiple times, you could be an event planner because you plan amazing events. And I've given, I've seen it. My wedding, she planned it, right? I gave her the budget. I was like, this is the budget. And she did awesome with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, you can do that. You have that skill set. You just don't have the marketing skill set.
Right.
So that's where you got to pivot and say, all right, I know how to do all this other stuff. I got the creative side of it. Let me put on my business hat.
Mm-hmm.
And you go from there. You figure that out. Imagine you've locked your full potential. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting. I'm used to the other sets. Yo, we're so high tech. We're pulling stuff up. I'm loving this, bro. I'm loving this. See, this is how we get better, and this is why I love this journey that we're going on, because we started somewhere, we fell off, we came back to it, and we just keep going. And each iteration, we're just trying to get better and better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. We got comments now. She's bringing up she's doing the search. She's bringing it up. Yo, this is awesome. This is like my favorite show right now. Imagine you've locked your full potential, but someone special comes along and new special talent blows your talent away. For example, Elon Musk lapping Bill Gates at everything. Exactly. And look, don't get me wrong. They're both billionaires. So they not only did they had a vision, they saw where technology was going to go. They tapped into it. They filled that void, right? They also had the business, knowledge and the business sense to realize, my favorite person to study is Steve Jobs, because he really didn't create any technology. He just had the vision. He understood where technology was going, and he understood what it took for mass adoption, right? So he saw something where it was like, oh, a bunch of nerds and really smart people were using it, and nobody was going to ever use that. And he was like, well, let's make it simple. Let's slim it down. Let's make it easy for anybody to pick it up, right? He saw, listen, he was with Apple. He left. Apple tanked. He went with Pixar. Pixar blew up. And they were like, yo, Apple's in danger. We need you back. He was ousted. They kicked him out of Apple. And then they begged him back in. And then when he came back in, he shot it back up. Why? Because he came up with he didn't invent it. He came up with the iPod. He was like, yo, music is moving forward. Technology is moving forward. Let's combine the two. And boom, he came out with the iPod. Right? Everybody had an iPod. Boom,
I had an iPod.
Again.
I'm not even an Apple
shot up
person.
again, right? And just hearing how he was such a visionary, right? When you look at the iPhone, that was all him. He was like, yo, make it easy. Even with the layout of Apple, the whole Macintosh and the OS, right? Mac OS, the whole thing. He was like, let's make it easy for the user.
Yeah.
Let's get out of their way so they can create. And now look, MacBooks are notorious for what? Creators.
Those creative, yeah. If you're on the creative side, you probably have a Mac.
Right, exactly. So that's notorious for that.
Or even when I was in high school and I was taking design, I was doing graphics and web design, and they had Macs for everybody, because that's where the software was. That's what was catered to that creative side.
Right. When I was with YAG, when I was in the Youth Arts group, and they presented my mentor. I was like, look, I want to be in graphic design. And they were like, oh, really? Okay. So they found a mentor for me. Yeah. And I was like, yo, that's dope. That was inspiring. I said, I want to do something, and somebody listened. That to this day, that holds deep in my heart. That's why I keep telling you, there's so much opportunities in life. You just got to speak it and let somebody listen, and they'll open the door for you. Because I do believe that people are generally good. And it irks me that people are society is just bashing on white people, because I feel like there's so many white people that open the door for me.
Yeah.
That actually listen to me more than my own kind, more than Latinos do. Because if I walk around Latinos, they're gonna knock me.
I'm not Latino enough.
Yeah, I'm not Latino. I don't make the cut. I'm a gringo, right? But then I'll go and I'll say something to a white guy, and they'll be like, I got you.
Yeah.
And it happened more times than not. And I like that's why it really hurts me. Like I'm like, yo, it's hatred. It's hatred. Either way you spin it, it's hatred. But
I'm gonna pull
going back
on because I feel like we kind of like missed the mark here. Imagine you've locked your full potential, but someone special comes along and the new special talent blows your talent away. For example, Elon Musk, lapping Bill Gates at everything.
Yes.
Like what I'm thinking about here though is the fact that it's always like that innate competitiveness that gets in our way. Because rather than it be like, hey, Elon Musk is up here and he's doing his thing, and like Bill Gates should be feeling like, hey, great, or they could be collabing together. It becomes, society like pitting them against each other. Like, oh, well, like this guy is better than him at this, and this one does this better. And we always go back to that competitive nature, and everybody wants to be the best. And it's again all about the self. It's about one person, persevering. It's not about us as a society working together. Work with your neighbor.
Let me ask you this though. And I'll even pivot. I'll pivot off of what Fuzz said. I'll even take it one step higher because I'll take the two top billionaires right now. So let's say Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, right? Bezos and Musk, right? Do you think that they're really competing with each other? I know they go back and forth. Oh, who's the richest guy? And they're competing with SpaceX and all that. But what do you think? What do you think they're competing with more? Who do you think they're competing with more?
Other than each other?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know. I'm not following your question.
Me personally, I think they're competing with themselves. I think Jeff Bezos competes with Jeff Bezos. How much more? Yeah, how much more he can do? Like, yo, he's a billionaire. He wants to be a trillionaire, right? He's like, yo, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to go. Like, he keeps thinking, like, yo, I'm gonna keep doing what I can do. I'm gonna unlock what? My full potential, right? It goes back to that. So, like you said, it's good to have that creative competition. And yes, they're billionaires. They probably are competing. Like, okay, I'm competing. But at the end of the day, I think they close the doors and they're like, yo, what I got to do to keep Tesla going? What do I got to do to keep SpaceX going? After SpaceX, what I'm going to do? Okay, Starlink, let's go. They're just kind of constantly thinking about what's next because I guarantee Elon has a vision. He has a vision, just like Steve Jobs had a vision where he wants to take tech and help, humans evolve to that next level.
Right.
Whereas, Steve Jobs' vision was to have everybody, have a device in their hand, right? Or unlock the potential of computers. I feel like Elon Musk's vision is that he wants to unlock the potential of the internet, right? That's why he's working on Starlink. That's why he worked on SpaceX so that he can get Starlink out there, right? And then he's going to be like, yeah, everybody's on my system now. I'm a trillionaire now.
Yeah.
Bezos will win. Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. I'm still rooting for Musk. I'm telling you, I deep down inside, I know I shouldn't be rooting for him because he's a billionaire, but I'm just like, hold up. Did he just say that? Wait, did he just tweet that? Yo, no. It's like, I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. I'm like, could he be a little different? Some say the richest people are Saudi royal families. They are worth trillions of unrealized gains. Yeah, that's because you know what? That's not even that's the one that scares me the most because that's not even like, hey, unlocking your potential. That's not like being a forward thinker. That's just capitalizing something people need. That's why they're rich. That's why they're filthy rich. That's why we're stuck in this where we are right now. It's like, oh, hey, everybody wants this. But you know what? Once again, visionaries, they're pivoting us away from, gas. They're pivoting us to what? Electric cars. It's not there yet. The grid is not there. I feel like we all buy electric cars today. We'll be, blackouts, rolling blackouts. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But maybe it's not. Maybe we don't need to be on the grid. Maybe we need solar power, right? Maybe there's potentials in so much things. It's just like we need those free thinkers. I always say we need those free thinkers. We need those people to see things differently. Taking Apple's slogan, things differently, right?
I like invested in one of those solar farms. And so like everything was set up, it was built. It was a new one being built when I, bought into it. And I've been getting some crazy credits from my solar farm. I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Money's coming in?
It
Okay.
definitely is. Like my electric bill has dropped down, and like I'm like every time I get two bills. I get the one that goes to me and to my solar farm that I don't pay.
Okay.
And then I get the one from my solar farm showing me like, hey, like this is what you've gotten and like this is what we paid them. So like the one that I'm getting from like my actual electric supplier, there's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like ahead by like $500, like a full
Oh
credit.
shit.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is
Huh.
amazing.
You're gonna have to put me onto that because I know
Yeah.
there's people who get solar panels put on their home, but
Mhm.
yet they're still kind of connected to the grid. So it's kind of like a hybrid. So like whatever they don't use as far as power, they can feed it back to the grid or whatever, or they use a certain amount and then they only use a little portion from the grid. So
Mhm.
it's like it's cool, but like that's kind of cool. So you're going through a provider that's full on solar,
Yes.
and
So
because
my
they're
no, my
solar, they're
electric
cutting
my
your
elec my actual electric provider is still the same people it's always been.
okay.
But I invested in the solar farm. So now
Hmm.
my actual electric bill goes to the farm who's
Oh,
mass producing electric and supplying
right.
it to
And then sending you the bill afterwards
right.
of what you used.
So
That's
I'm not
awesome.
actually using it from the solar farm. I'm still using the power from my solar company, but my solar
Hmm.
farm is powering my electric company. It's providing, power to my electric company, which is, cutting their costs, and I'm seeing the benefits.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Man, good to see you. Look at you. Look at you. I'm like, man, I'm hanging over here. Like, no,
Yeah.
kudos. I'm hanging. I'm like, man, I don't need to do that. Look
Mhm.
at you.
It's definitely it was a different concept, and it was one of those things, scammers always get me because like if you have a good spiel, I'm like, oh, I
Hmm.
like that. Yeah, I'll buy into that. So I was really expecting this to be a scam, but it turned out to not be. But it was just a random, like since I live in a neighborhood, I have a townhouse. It was somebody who's going like door to door, and they were talking about the solar farms. And it was something I had heard
Hmm.
about. So I was like, oh, like I was actually, thinking about this. Like,
So,
yeah,
did they
sure.
sign you into like a contract or something? Like you got to
I
sign. You
did
signed up
sign
with them
a
for a year.
contract. I signed in for 1 year. However, if I wanted to break it, like that was part of like their promo with people like signing up. They were like, "Oh, if you sign up with us today, like you'll be able to break your contract if you needed to."
Okay.
Um, and I didn't see anything from them for about 3 months because they were still building the plant. It wasn't like it was already up and
Oh
running.
shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
cool.
It goes through them. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
You know what though? It's funny because you mentioned like scammed and like I've been scammed so many times.
Mhm.
But then sometimes like you
Same.
just you like, one of them, some of them, a few of them stick though. A few of
Yeah.
them stick, and that's what you got to realize. Because look at crypto. Crypto, everybody's like, oh, crypto's a scam. Crypto's a scam. But you know what? It's changing lives.
Yeah.
It's like you just got to just like they thought the internet was a scam,
Hmm.
right? And then there was the whole .com bust, and it was like, oh, there goes the internet, it's done. And then you know what? It still survived and striving, thriving, right? To the point where you look at the stock markets, and the top companies that move the stock market are what?
Amazon.
Amazon, Netflix,
Yeah.
right? You can name them. You can name them because that's the evolution of that. So it's like you got to be almost open minded for scams. I hate to say
Mhm.
that. Like you got to
I was
kind of,
talking
but
to a
just kind of be
lady.
forward thinking though.
I was talking to a lady who works at an Amazon warehouse,
Hmm.
and she was just like telling me how like they're trying to unionize. We've all heard it, especially over the Christmas time. How the Amazon employees are being treated very poorly.
They're all
So
gonna
she
get
was telling
fired.
me like some more insight. She was giving more insight. She was like, "Oh, she's like, there is no like There's no way for her to call out of work.
Hmm.
Like it's another one of those things that it just makes you wonder, like, wait a minute, what? There's no way for her to call out work. Like she could, say she had a car accident, she's, stuck on the side of the road or she's in the hospital. She can't call out.
Hmm.
And it actually, what they end up doing is they take her hours and they still like pay her out for those hours as like, like your sick pay or whatever, but it's called unpaid time. And then
Hmm.
once you get in the negative, they fire you.
Oh shit.
So you could, have a legit excuse. Like they don't accept doctor's notes. Like your doctor can say, hey, you have the flu. You can't go to work for 4 days. And during those 4 days, they'll use your unpaid time and then they'll fire you once you're in the negative.
But you know what? But once again, like I hear this and I'm like, leverage what you got. So you got this opportunity. Why don't you just take what you got and then move on to the next opportunity? Because every time I hear like, oh, unionizing, yeah, okay, sometimes it turns out good, but most of the time they get fired. They're like, look, you troublemakers, get out of here, bye. Somebody else will come and get your job. Because you gotta look at things in perspective. So you're like, oh, this sucks. Oh, this is harsh conditions and whatnot. But you know what? There's so many people out there looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many people that will take your opportunity in a heartbeat. They're like, here's openings. Here's openings. Who wants a job?
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's people lined
I
up.
don't know because I'm finding a lot of we're hiring signs everywhere. I feel like everyone's hurting. Our economy's hurting. Nobody wants to work right now.
Bad leadership.
We're not trying to work right now.
But you know what? In the same sense, though, like going back to your story, being in the whole consulting arena, right, and seeing like top firms like Booz Allen and Deloitte and all that, these guys will get people in, and they'll be like, "Yo," and it's funny because I just saw the tweet. It might have been yesterday where somebody tweeted, and they were like, unlimited vacation time just equals no vacation time.
Right.
And that's how it is. That's a mind game that they play. They're like, oh, yeah, we got unlimited time, work-life balance, and all of this. But then what they instill in you, oh, if you ain't producing, you ain't working, you ain't getting those numbers, right? You're going to get left behind. Mm-hmm. Your colleague, look at you. You want to take a week off? Go ahead, take a week off. But your colleague over here, he just put in 80 hours this week. Mm-hmm. Guess who's getting promoted? Those are the mind games. Those are the slave mind games they play on us.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing. Like even with like paid time off, like the statistics show that most people aren't using their paid vacation. Time off.
Yeah. When I left my job in November, mind you, they were like, "Oh, Ray's not working," and they wrote me up and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But I was busting my ass all summer long. I didn't go to my father's funeral because deadlines and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And when I finally left, I had like 2 or 3 weeks of vacation time that they paid me out. Mm-hmm. So it was like I had no time to take vacation. It was like, oh, deadline. Right. Deadline. And I was like, well, I guess I got to make this deadline. And those are the things. It's like, especially like with someone like me, right? When they're like, oh, you're not doing good. Oh, you're not doing good. And it's like, oh wait, what are you talking about? I'm busting my ass. So then what do I do? Did I just say, nah, fuck this, work-life balance? No, what I do? I'm like, all right, I'll bust my ass even more. I want to make you happy. Are you happy? Let me know. Are you happy? Those are the games they play.
I kind of reflected on Friday. So Friday was the 13th. Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm. I did not get into my full weekend plan.
Oh, you got to show it.
No, hang on. There's a few things I did on Friday. So on Friday, this conversation led me there because I went to get a tattoo for Friday the 13th.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You got to show it.
And so I was sitting in line. I'm like waiting for them to open. They opened at noon. My girlfriend and I got there like maybe like 9:30. We were there early. We sat down. We hung out. And I saw 2 of my old colleagues, and they're still at the company. Mm-hmm. And they're still working hard. They're still putting in all those hours every week
for nothing. Yeah.
And I just felt so grateful to be able to sit there. Like the sun was shining. It was a warm morning. And, I was sitting on the sidewalk with a girlfriend waiting to get a tattoo just because.
Counting your blessings. Yep. Counting your blessings. And it's like, that's what I keep going over and over. Like I want, this is my motivation for
positioning for myself so I can show off my tattoo.
All right, go ahead, show before we start writing again. Go. Drum roll, please.
I can't get it. There we go.
I have no idea what it is. It's a teepee.
It's Deathly Hallows.
It's an anarchy sign.
No,
We're an anarchist.
Deathly Hallows. Can't do this.
That's what it is. It's like Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's a
from
triangle.
Harry Potter.
A triangle for the cloak, a circle for the stone, and then a line going through it for the wand.
Go ahead, Fuzz. I know you're gonna say. Go ahead, Fuzz. Let us know what satanic imagery that's from.
Image I just got on my
own. Because they put that in the movie, and she's like, "Oh, it's just Harry Potter." No, it ain't. He's gonna let you know.
No, so it's the Deathly Hallows. So the story of the Deathly Hallows. It was 3 brothers who they were traveling, and they tricked death. And so Death was like, oh, it's so amazing that you tricked me. I'm going to grant you each a gift. So then the first brother chose like a wand. He wanted a wand like more powerful. It could never be beat by any other wand. So he got his wand. He took his wand and he sought revenge. So he killed somebody from his past. And then when he was like drunk and celebrating, he was, gloating about his wand, and somebody ended up killing him for the wand. So Death took that brother's life. And then the second brother had asked for a stone that would give him the power to bring someone back from the dead. He wanted to bring his wife back from the dead. So he took the stone. He brought his wife back. She wasn't the same. She was miserable.
Zombie, and she ate his head.
Yeah, so he ends up
and she ate his face.
He ends up killing himself because he wanted to be with his wife. So Death got the second brother. The third brother asked for a cloak that could cover him from, hide him from anything, including death. So he used the cloak. He hid from death. He lived out his family into old age. When it was time, he gave the cloak to his son, and then he took the cloak off and he greeted death as an old friend. So there was a whole story behind the Deathly Hallows.
Wait, was this the Deathly Hallow movie in Harry Potter?
It was in HP, yeah.
Was it really?
HP, yeah. They go into it in the book. Movie? In the movie, there's an actual graphic story that tells you the whole thing.
Really?
Illuminati triangle. Oh my god.
There you go. I knew Fuzz was gonna go in. I knew he was gonna go in. Well, at least you didn't get a butterfly.
My girlfriend got a butterfly.
Yeah, I know. Typical. It irks me how much women want to say that they're so strong and independent and free thinkers and all this. Yeah, they do the same shit. It's like you guys are so obvious what you guys are gonna do next. Oh, first tattoo, butterfly. Where? Right here on my back.
Wow. Oh my god, he said Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, that's a good one, though. I like that one.
That one, though.
That one's a dope one. That one's dope. I like that. The Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, Illuminati. Oh, that's hilarious.
And so also on Friday the 13th, I went to a puffin paint. So
how did that go?
It's like a sipping paint, same thing. I was just a guided painting, and I was puffing the whole time. That was awesome. I took one of my girlfriends, a different girlfriend, and we blew it down. We had a great time. Our paintings came out pretty cool.
Did you go out afterwards? It was Friday.
No, I didn't. That was it for me.
Huh? I had an eventful.
I was like, man, that was a long day.
Did you feel Friday the 13th? I know that's superstitious. Everybody's like, oh my god, Friday the 13th.
I didn't. No, you know what? It was a really good day. I didn't feel any kind of
negativity or bad vibes. Oh no.
No.
Your car didn't break down. Oh no, my car broke down Friday the 13th. I think people who play into superstitious, superstition and all that stuff, Friday the 13th, they wake up and they're like, oh my god, bad things are gonna happen. They're so nervous and all that. I feel like they're projecting that energy out, and then that's what attracts that negativity to happen to them.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's just my mindset. I'm like, I woke up, it was just another day. I was excited.
It was like a celebration for me. I was like, oh, it's Friday the 13th.
No, I woke up. I was so excited because at last minute, you had asked me, and I was like, no, I have plans. Last minute, I got tickets to take my kids to WWE SmackDown. So we drove over to it, and we were in the nosebleed section. We couldn't even see the entrance. It was a bad view, but they loved it. I was like, yo, I felt like a kid in the candy store too, because growing up with wrestling, I never went to an event. Right? I got into it back in high school. I fell off, and then I got back to it now with the kids, and it's I feel like a kid again. It's I never went to an event. It was my first event. I was like, yo, this is awesome. So we did that, and then I went out Saturday night and just went down to Morristown. A couple of new spots opened. So I was like, oh, yeah, I was, you know me. I just love it. I just
That's
love
your
it, like
spot.
going
You
up to
love
this
going down
spot.
there.
No, I just love going to like different spots and just like I don't know, being that hype man. Cause I'll
Mhm.
just go in and I'm like, and everybody's like, I just love it. I just love it. Oh man. But yeah, that was it. Sunday was quiet. Just watching videos, studying, just getting more into the rabbit hole of the whole financial system and how it's all gonna collapse.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I was like, I've only like glanced at it. I want to say maybe yesterday, and I saw it was like a little higher than it was. I was like, oh, okay, we're heading back up. That's it, because I'm not looking. I don't want to know.
everyone looks at the screens no matter where you sit. Yeah, you know what? But there was a thing that caught me. So I'm guessing he's talking about going to see like WWE live. But
Mhm.
I was looking at the screen, and it's funny because once again talking about relating to perspective, right? Seeing things in perspective. I was looking at a screen, and this guy came out of nowhere, and I'm like, "Yo, what the hell?" I didn't get the full story. I didn't know what was going on, but the kids were so into watching on the at the ring, even
Okay.
though we were so high up, they were still looking at it. They got to see where the guy came in and all that, so they saw the full story.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was only seeing a certain,
Just
and
that
let
one
that be a
angle.
metaphor for so many things, right? All that you
Yep.
see is what they want you to see, but it's also, perspective, man. So I was like, yo, I was like, I gotta watch the stop looking at the screen. I gotta watch that. And I think I even said that, and everybody laughed. I was like, I'm so used to watching TV. I gotta look down. But it was fun, man. It was like getting the crowd hype and me just loving to be a hype man. I had the whole section. We did the whole section. We were all going.
That was
Mm-hmm.
actually the third one I wrote down for unlocking your potential was be able to look at things from different angles. So
Different
that's kind of cool.
perspective.
You brought that up, yeah.
Yeah,
So all
and
right, so
it's like
I'm
it's a
just gonna
great
recap.
metaphor.
I'm gonna recap the three I put. Actually, it's been an hour, so I'm gonna reintroduce us. If you're new to the
Yes,
channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are sibling rivalry. We're siblings. I'm Lynn.
I'm Ray, and we're just a show about positivity, unlocking your true potential. That's today's topic. But what we want to do is we want to try to change the narrative that's going on out there. It's like everybody seems like really negative. Everybody's stuck in their heads, victim mentality, and we want to let you know that listen, if you had a dream, you got one life. Let's live it.
Yeah.
Power of
It's like
positivity.
those
Let's go.
posters. It's like those posters that every third grade teacher has that says
Yeah, the
whether
cat.
you
Just
think
hang
you
in there.
can or you
Yeah.
think you can't,
Oh
you're
yeah.
right. You know?
Yeah. Are you American or are you American? Well, no, you can't use that one because we got everybody watching from all over the world. We love you guys. We love you guys all over. Let's just embrace this.
That's
Let's
not
just
that's
be.
not how I know that one. That one was definitely for the country of Mexico.
Oh yeah. I just cleaned it up. I just cleaned it up. But you can put it in that can in anything. Everybody ends in a can.
So, unlocking your potential. I had jotted down three like major points that I wanted us to hit. We've covered all three at this point, so I'm just gonna recap them. The first one, look at it from a different angle. Like pull yourself
Mm-hmm.
back, almost do like a
Reassessment.
reflection where you're
Yep.
letting go of your emotions, and you're just looking at the facts. Like look at how you've been behaving, how you've been reacting. Look at what your triggers are. Look at what has created this situation, this scenario in your
Mm-hmm.
life. The
And
second one is, oh, you want to add to that?
no, I was gonna say like we do that every year. It's called a
Mm-hmm.
New Year resolution, right? People
Mm-hmm.
reflect and they're like, "Oh, this is what I want to do differently," right? So take that, but do it more often than
Yeah.
just once a year, right? And then
Yeah.
have follow through. Have follow through. But go ahead,
The
go ahead.
second
Number
point
two.
is get curious. Like
Yes.
start looking at it and see if there are opportunities, see if
Mm-hmm.
there is going to be more wisdom from looking at it from a different perspective. Like what can you learn from it? Where can you go from here? Like life sucks sometimes. It does, things
Yes.
come at you quick and there's nothing you could do about it. So when you find yourself in that position, you have an option. You can bitch and complain about it and be a
Right.
miserable person, or you could, look for the opportunities, look for, where you're going to head from here.
Yes. And curiosity will spark your purpose. I believe
Mm,
that. I believe that you being curious of a different future, or you being curious on unlocking, hey, you know what? I always had a, like for me personally, I always wanted to play the guitar. I should start learning, right?
Right.
Pick it up. Next thing you know, oh my God, I'm gifted. Oh shit.
Now you never know.
You never know. So it's like, be curious. Be like, I want to try that. Be that yes man, like Jim Carrey and Yes Man. Never say no to anything. Say yes to everything. Right? He played the guitar.
I remember that. That movie.
He was like, I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Oh, I love that scene. I watch that scene all the time. And number 3, then. Go ahead. Number 3. Hit it up.
Number 3 is searching for your inner. I have to look it up. Hang on.
Go ahead.
So accessing your inner resources, see what else you're capable of. It's like the movie Encanto. There was like a song by the one daughter who was like perfect, and she made this little cactus, and like it made her think like, oh my God, like what else can I do? What else am I capable of creating from here?
You're using a Disney movie. We'll let it slide. We'll let it slide. She took notes. She had 3 points. We'll let that one slide. No, I do like Encanto. I can't lie. I do like it. I mean, there's a lot of the message in it, but I still like you said, the music is dope.
Yeah.
The music is dope.
I work out to the music with the Oculus. So I have the Supernatural app, and they did an Encanto special. They do.
So you're just all in there to the music?
Yeah, there's like 5
We don't talk
Encanto
about
songs.
Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. You get all in with Bruno?
Yeah. It's like a medium workout, so it's not even like a light one. Like I'm feeling it.
Oh, you gotta go hardcore. So fuck you, Bruno. Can you imagine that they do something like that where
no.
Bruno's coming after you? That's hilarious.
It was our wedding day.
No, you're like hitting the bubbles and stuff like that, Bruno. It's your bad news. Like, that family could not take bad news. Don't be that sensitive. Do not be that sensitive. Be able to constructive criticism is okay. It's like it's gonna rain. Yeah. So let's just postpone the wedding.
The coach during the workout, like he says that too. He's like, it's not really Bruno, it's his family that didn't know how to react to it.
Yeah, it's like, it's just bad news. That was his power. I gotta tell you bad news. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. That's it.
No, my sister couldn't control her emotions. She was like, "Oh
my God, not my wedding day." But you know what? Once again, me being Mr. Positive, all you could have asked is like, "All right, Bruno, can I have it on this day?" No, I don't see no rain. Perfect. All right, next day. It's like, why couldn't you just use his talent for good? Mm-hmm. Be like, all right, that was just a weird one. They cut him off. He was in the wall talking to rats. That's not bad, bro.
So his story was so sad. He was definitely one of the characters.
Yeah, no, that was heartbreaking. That's why I'm a loner, because I'm like, I don't need nobody in my life. You're going to put me in the wall? You're going to put me in the wall?
He was like, I want to have dinner with you guys.
Yeah, he went crazy. He was having dinner with his family, even though they were like, we don't talk about him. He's bad news. Like, what? Why? What did he do? He murder somebody? No, he just tells us it's going to rain. Like, who wants rain? We want sun. That's messed up, bro.
They blamed him for the goldfish. The one guy got a gut. Somebody else lost his hair. I was like, damn, Bruno.
Yeah, your goldfish is going to die. It's inevitable. Just get another one. Like, no, you're going to cut me off. I'm blood. You're for family. No. I'll tell you what, that would never happen. That would never happen if Dom Toretto was at the head of that table. Because family is everything.
I don't even know who that is, but okay.
Dom Toretto, Fast and Furious. It's like family's everything. I can't like give.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I should pull him up.
Yeah, pull up Dom. You don't know Dom Toretto?
How do you spell that?
I can't with it.
Toretto.
It's gonna fill it. You just Dom Tour, and it's gonna fill in the rest.
There it is.
Yeah, like he's so iconic, and you don't know
this dude. Okay.
Now type type Dom Toretto and family, and watch all the memes pop up. You gotta be on the memes. Come on, Lynn. This is going over your head.
All right. Emily. Nothing stronger than family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have an army. We have a family.
Yeah. No, there was one meme. There was one meme where it was him against Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Type Dom versus Thanos. That was the meme, and it was like you killed. It was like, oh, Thanos ended up snapping away like half his family, and then you see like him coming like, oh, oh, it's hilarious.
Okay, let me get back up.
We have an army. We have family. Oh. Where is it? Is it like he snapped? Because you know, Thanos does the snap, right? And it's like he wipes away half his family, and then he's
Spanish.
like in Spanish, yeah. The memes are crazy. It's like family's everything.
No, I'm not gonna find it.
Oh, all right. We're gonna get stuck on it.
I still have family.
Yeah. So you had any last thing on your notes? We just pivot. Oh, John Wick! John Wick! Oh, that's hilarious. Take my dog.
He's like, say no more. Dogs are family. Let's get them.
Oh, that's hilarious. I would so watch that movie if they did like a John Wick and like Fast and Furious crossover. I would still watch that.
So, oh my God. All right. So I've been using this app that you put on my phone, right? And so over the weekend, like Rico and I watched,
the movie app?
Yeah, so Rico and I watched like the Spider-Man movie again, Into the Spider-Verse, and we watched they saw the dog, not the Bad Guys. They saw that one like 3 times over the weekend.
Already? Yeah.
Yes, you know where we're watching.
Yeah, it's running in my house on replay too.
I was like, let me watch, Fantastic Beasts.
Did you saw that it was on there? I was gonna text you that.
I saw like
HD.
half of it. I got like an hour in. I was like, this is so boring. And I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
Told you.
It just like
Told you.
It was bothering me because it was something that it's one of those kind of movies that you have to actually like watch, and it's all about the people, and it's like kind of like unraveling a story. And I was just like, this. I don't know.
No, the reason why you're disconnected, and I analyzed it when I saw it, and I was kind of watching a couple of reviews, and then I realized it's because it does a pivot on the whole wizard world, and what hooked you like all these years, like, oh, it's dope to be in a wizard world and all that, and it started feeding today's politics.
No, so it felt very like Sherlock Holmes to me. I was like, this is not.
No, at the end, if you think about it, at the end, right? You had half the wizards that wanted to go to war with the Muggles, right? And then you had the other half who didn't, right? Civil war, political discourse, even the whole thing of the whole thing with Dumbledore, right? And his secret. It's like that. That's all the message. And once again, go woke, go broke. They fell off on what made the movie, magical, which is what? Being a wizard. Oh, it'd be dope to be wizards. Do you want to be in a wizard world now that wants to kill humans because they have no powers? No, that doesn't seem dope. It's like wizard Nazis, man.
It was different. Fuzz, there was an election.
Yeah, that election. You didn't make it that far.
I didn't even get that far.
But spoiler alert, it's the most craziest thing because like 5 minutes, they're like within like a matter of like 5-10 minutes, they're all like, yeah, kill the Muggle, yeah. And then like the other person was like, we're gonna have peace, yeah, peace. It was like, what? It's like, make up your moment. Wait, what? It was like a 180. It was the weirdest thing. And of course, they left it open, so they're gonna keep doing this. And it's just like, I don't know. You keep feeding that politics. I'm kind of falling off. I'm kind of checking out. And I'm not really, I wasn't really a Harry Potter. I just like fantasy and magic and all that stuff. That's cool. Entertain me. But if we don't get back to that whole wizardly world and like all the stuff, like, what really was cool? When they would go to, when they had to go get supplies, and they would like walk into that wall,
Yeah.
and there was like the little alley. Like I loved like that part in the movie was so magical to the point wherever I go to like these little beach towns, and now they have like those little strips in between, and they got like the little stores. I'm like, oh, it's like Harry Potter. And I got a photo of one of my kids. You know, he had a wand, and he's like in one of those like little alley things, and I'm like, yo, this is so dope. It's like Harry Potter. I was rooting for the giant crab scorpion to kill our heroes. You know what? That was like the best scene in the movie, actually, because I actually went back to the name of the movie, Fantastic Beasts. That's another thing. Like I thought, like it was gonna be the series was gonna be him, kind of like almost like Harry Potter
animals,
right? Harry Potter and Pokemon kind of deal, right? Like okay, he's gonna find all these animals, and he needs the animals to help him, do a caper or whatever. No, they fell off on all that stuff.
Yeah. They started out real dark too. Like the bad guy like took out, like they show like this awesome creature, and then the bad guy takes him out. There's all blood everywhere. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. No, so unfortunately, like you're seeing a lot more of these movies, and it's which going into the how once again that whole terminology go woke go broke. Did you hear that Netflix put out a statement saying like if you don't agree with what we're doing, then this may not be the company for you? It was like in their like culture memo, and they were like pretty much what they said is like we're standing by David Chappelle, right? We're standing by Chappelle, and the comments he makes because it's entertainment. People want to see this. Right. He gets us good ratings, and if it goes against your ideology, maybe you should go work somewhere else.
Check out.
Like they literally said that. And I was like, oh, shit. But you know what? Netflix is tanking. Their stocks are crashing. So it's like, yo, they want to stop the bleeding. And once again, what are they going to do? They're going to pivot, and they're going to say, hey, let's go. Let's create good content. Like I saw the trailer recently for Resident Evil. So, Resident Evil video games. I don't know how much you remember, but you remember, growing up, it's iconic. These iconic characters, iconic scenes, right?
The dogs would like jump through the glass.
Exactly. So you got the iconic like zombies, right? You remember the big dude with the big arm? He was all, you got the lickers, right? You got all those iconic creatures, and you got the iconic characters, right? Well, the trailer just dropped for the Netflix TV show, and once again, it's woke as hell. None of the characters you grew up with is in the show. Okay. It's like, why do I care for this show? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't.
They're taking away from the opportunity that they have by trying to like put these messages in there.
By
like
feeding into it, they're losing their creativity. Yeah. And so like there's another show that happened, and CW. Oh my God, CW. I had to stop watching that channel. Because they're beyond woke ground. They're just feeding all of it. But all their shows are getting canceled. Like Batwoman got canceled. I'm like, yo, all your shows are getting canceled. Nobody's watching this crap. And so there was a show back in the day that they brought back, which is called the 4400. And the premise of the show, I don't know if you ever watched it, but it's a great sci-fi concept. It's like all these people disappear. 4,400 people disappear. And then they all get dropped down. And it turns out that they all disappeared on different like points of time throughout history. And so they're like, oh my God, this person's been missing from the 70s. This person was missing from the 50s. And they're like, what the hell's going on? They all just reappear. Right? But I didn't even get to see like the pilot of the remake. Like I saw half of it. I was like, I'm done. It's too much agenda. Like they were like over the top. The white guy's a bad guy. All of the people they were focusing on, they were all black, right? And they were all just like, oh, from the eras. They didn't age too. Yeah, that's right. They did. It was like, kind of like a point in time. Yeah, the 4400. It was like what? It was like let's say like you were like right now right? They just take you and then they drop you like 20 years in the future. And you look the same. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And like the only thing you remembered was exactly like it was like a second. So like there was one lady
who it's been 20 years for everyone else, but for me it was I just appeared in a new
second,
era.
Right? And so you're like, oh my God, my kids. You're like, oh my God, my kids. And then you come, you go to your house. They're not living there no more. You finally track down your kid, and he's 20 years older. Yeah, he's like 33 years old.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that was the original show, and then it turns out as you got deeper into the, it's sci-fi. So as you got deeper into the show, you know, there was a reason why they got taken, and then a couple of these people had powers too.
Okay.
So it's kind of like X-Men. It was like time travel. It was great. It was a great show. They canceled it. They brought it back, but the I just heard that the remake got canceled within like the first season. And I was like, I see it because I was excited to watch I was like, okay, it was remade. And mind you, I went and I saw it even after I heard it got canceled.
Sci-fi, not reality.
Right, exactly. I want sci-fi. I want the story. I want creativity. I want content. I don't want your message. Like, I'm tired of that. If I want to see politics, I'll turn on CNN. Right? I want sci-fi. I want a story. And it doesn't care who your characters are. Right? Just give me the story. Don't give me this like political crap in my entertainment. That the same will happen with Babylon 5 on. Oh, don't tell me that. Fuzz. You just made my. Oh, see, I'm slumping in my seat. I love Babylon 5. Is that really on CW? I thought that was going to be on Peacock. Come on, I have hope that it's on. Come on, man. Why are they doing this to me?
Going back to HP. So you loved Harry's step-parents and the Ronalds family. I love Ron's family.
Well, wasn't his step-parents like the ones that kept locking him up in the basement or whatever?
Yeah, his aunt. It was his aunt and uncle.
Yeah, right. And they're like, "You're just a word. You're horrible. Get back under the stairs."
They kept him under the cupboard.
Yeah.
Covered under the stairs for a Privet Drive.
The other family, the Ronalds family, are all the redheads, right?
Yeah. Their family was awesome.
Yeah, they were dope. I like, but you know what I do like is that with the new like Fantastic Beasts, because it goes back in time, like they brought up like the Lestrange family. Yes. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I want to know more about their family, right? Because I heard this in the other series. So, you're going to drive some of that backstory. Cool. I'm a sucker for backstory. No, they didn't do any of that either. Just like, man.
Yeah, like the first 20 minutes, Dumbledore, like, first off, I was trying to, like, fix my mind to say, hey, that's Dumbledore when he's younger. Like, it just didn't make sense in my brain. And then he was talking to Minerva. I was like, that's Professor McGonagall. Like, it did. It had, like, that fandom.
Take back, right? Yeah.
And then, you know, time, like, they missed the mark.
They did. They missed it big time. And then, like, they had the one scene, because they always got to go back to Hogwarts, right? And they play the music, because, like you say, the music always makes you feel a certain type of way. And so you get all nostalgic. But when they did that but when they did that in the movie, it felt like it was force-fed at that point. Because it's like you just lost the whole content of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, the magic of the creativity is gone because you force-hand-me, you know, your politics. So, I mean, I do see a pivot happening, which is cool. Like, Netflix is standing. But then again, Netflix keeps doing all these stupid stuff. I just laugh because I'm like,
they do a lot of weird stuff.
They are. They had that Cuties movie. They had that one where the guy was pregnant. I'm like, yo, you guys are trying too much. And it's like, look, it's funny because I'm like, Middle America is not having this. And you could see it in their stocks. Everybody's like, nah, I just wanted to watch a movie. And I go and I see these girls shaking their ass. Now I'm done. I just wanted a movie. They had this dude all pregnant and stuff. I don't know what's going on.
I feel like a lot more of us should move to the flyover states and just take a step back, man. Like, I question it so often. Like, for people who live so close to the city and in the city, like, our life is fast paced.
It is. That's why you're so drawn to the islands. I get why you're drawn. It's the reason why I like to go to the beach, because I feel like time slows down.
Yes.
And like, even like, look, we're in the suburbs. So we're not even in the city. Like, I could only imagine what Fuzz is going through. Like, Fuzz probably had like 5 nervous breakdowns dealing with the city, bro. Because it's just so aggressive. It's like you're constantly like, it's like, that lifestyle, at one point I was about it. I lived in the DC area, right? I was all, I'm wearing my suit and tie. I want to get promoted. I was 25. I was like, I want to drive BMW. I want all this stuff. Cool. But after a while, like you said, it gets exhausting because you can't take a time to breathe. And us as natural procrastinators, it's like, geez, it's draining to be like aggressive all the time. I'm terrified of I guarantee it. You're living first. They got you in the smallest apartment, right? They got you in a box, so you ain't even got space to breathe. It's like you got no windows, right? You got yo, fucking rats the
Wow,
size
which
of
is
this.
like it drives me like crazy to just think about what's going on in other countries. So like I know Australia did it maybe like a year ago, and like China's dealing with it now where they're like shutting people in their homes. You can't leave your house. And like to just think about that. You know, like the four walls are around you, to be trapped in here, your food's running out, you can't get groceries, like it just my heart really bleeds for them. You know,
Whereas
that
with
mental
us, like we're
struggle that they're going through.
yeah, like with us, like we're so blessed. Like okay, like they could say you're stuck in your house, but you could actually walk out and get some sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Like we take for granted the power of the sun
Mm-hmm.
and just being able to go out and just be like, oh, even just like even at night, just going out and feeling that like cold fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I feel stuffy in this house, I just go out on my deck right here, and yeah, exactly. Smelling neighbors cooking, loud radios. That's the city. Yeah, I get it. But all that stuff. It's like sometimes you need that. You need to go out. You need to step out. You need to smell outside, right? You need to play with your senses. You need that sun on your face, right? Like just being locked down, it's not normal.
No.
And me being antisocial, look, you could take people away from me, but you can't take nature away from me. I need this. I need that back there.
Yeah.
I just need that because
That's definitely something that got me through being at home the last couple years, and everyone having to quarantine, was being able to go into my backyard, and still being able to get that outdoor experience without the whole like, oh my god, I'm interacting with people, like, because it was scary. I'm not gonna say like the full 2 years was scary, but when things change, it kind of makes you a little hesitant, a little fearful of what's going on. We lost Ray here. Hopefully he'll be back shortly. But yeah, so during COVID, like one of the things that I really got me through was being able to go out into my backyard and just still smelling.
My bad.
We lost you.
No, somebody was calling me from Canada.
Okay.
Canadians. I don't know. I didn't answer. I was just like trying to end it, and then I lost the stream. I was like, oh shit. They nerfed. I wasn't talking that they bad. I was just like, get some fresh air. They're like, no. Vitamin D, kills Kofifi. Shut up. We want people to get vaccinated.
What? I did that too when I first started feeling symptoms of the flu. I just went out into my backyard and I laid there and I just absorbed the sun. And like, even though like it bothered me to be anywhere but on my couch, I pushed myself because I knew like absorbing that sun was going to help my body.
It's going to be healthy, yeah. And just breathing fresh air and just getting out.
Yeah.
Think about what you got in your house. And like, I keep saying my house, I'm blessed. My house is like too much than what I want. Me personally, like I could live in a small place, but even if you live in a little shoebox, right? Mm-hmm. You got dead skin cells. That's all the stuff that's in that thing. You got to get out of there sometimes. So like sometimes that's why you got to do that spring cleaning. Yeah, right. It's like you got to get out of that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, Fuzz, I hope we're motivating you to go, take a road trip and just go to the country, my guy. Get some fresh air. Go sleep with some bears.
I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. You don't know the song? No. Don't look at me that way. Yeah, go stand by the ocean and feel small.
I gotta get back at you for not knowing who Don Toronto was, man.
Yeah, I didn't know who that was.
That was a good joke. Come on.
Knock off rock. That's what they call him.
Yeah. Some say masks are coming back to NYC. Imagine homeless, criminal. Now people are walking disease again. You know what? They're going to keep doing whatever they can do as long as everybody complies. That's why I keep telling people, you want this to go away, stop complying. Say no. I know people are looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, look, they only have enough power if you comply to it.
Yeah. Honestly, we've always all been walking disease. Let's be honest. Like we've always had this, make sure you wash your hands before you eat. Like it's nothing new. It's just like, hey, at this point, well, all right. So at one point, it was like, oh, fear of death. Everyone was like, oh, you're gonna get this. You're gonna end up, attached to a ventilator. You're gonna end up dead. But like now, you get it, and everyone's recovering. So what?
Right.
Let's see.
Man, they started. Oh, what up, Big Smoke?
Hey, welcome
to the show. If you are you new to the show? Let us know how you found the show, so we can keep trying to play with the algorithm. Man, the algorithm's hating on us.
We're trying to figure this out.
Oh, I'm gonna punch that algorithm. I'm gonna smack that algorithm of happiness. I gotta do it every show. What up, Big Smoke? Let us know how your day's doing.
What's with your socks? What do you got on your feet today?
What do you mean as far as stocks?
Your socks.
Oh, the socks, the heat on the feet. Actually, it's today's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, right? Taco Tuesday. So let me show you. Hey, let me show you. Oh, slow down. Slow down.
You have burritos.
Oh, did you drop the link down below? If anybody wants to join us and shoot the shit.
Let's see.
I want to try that. I want to see if there's anybody that wants to jump on. You don't have to show your face. Just jump on. Audio is great. Let us know what you want to talk about. Whatever you want to rant about, let's rant. I want to engage with you guys. I really want to see a third face up here. And the heat on the feet. Shout out with love to my buddy Nick Gore and his family in Buffalo right now. Oh yeah, you heard about that shooting over the weekend? That was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking. And they're like, it's racially motivated, but I think wasn't he like a lefty? They said like he was like a left fanatic, and they're trying to be like, oh, he's going MAGA and all this.
I know that he drove like 3 hours to get to Buffalo. He wasn't.
Yeah, he was irate with the gun laws, I guess, in Buffalo or New York or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, those are just the things I'm hearing. I could once again, I could be wrong. Because like I said, I don't really go into articles. I hate. There's a reason why I don't go into articles and I just get the tidbits. And sometimes I go into it is because as soon as you read like the first paragraph and you go into that second paragraph, it starts going into their opinions. And I'm tired of that. It's like, let me just get the gist of it, and then I'll keep it moving. Right. And then I'll start investigating further. Mm-hmm. Because like I saw like he on his vest, he had the symbol. Actually, he had this like weird like circle symbol right on his vest, which is the same symbol that a lot of the soldiers in Ukrainian soldiers, they wear. So I was looking at that. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nick Gore is code. What? Say that again?
Nick Gore is code language for trolls. It sounds like the N-word.
Oh, the way you say it. Oh, my accent, that ain't gonna ever come out like that. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I never knew that. That's hilarious.
Wow. It's funny. I was listening to the radio in the car today, and like one of the people, everyone was like shaming her because she didn't know what shit, now I'm not gonna remember the term, but like I guess there's a term for when you mix tobacco into your marijuana. Hey, the tacos! We need the soundboards. You're gonna be like, burr, 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 burr.
Taco Tuesday, baby. But I love these socks because they're like so little. I feel like little slippers. All right. I didn't know that. Yo, we getting trolls. Are we on that level right now? Listen, I'm telling you, I'm open for everybody. Look, the negativity might get us eventually, and it might get me down. But at this point, I'll engage with any trolls that come on. Listen, weed and tobacco is spliff. Yeah, weed is dope.
Yeah, but that's not what they were calling it on the radio. I guess like there's a new like term that they call it, and they were all getting at her because she didn't understand the term. I was like, I don't know the term either.
I didn't know that. That was something. So Fuzz, fill us in. Is that like a mean thing? That's like a thing that's out there that's known. Like, I said it. I didn't even know. Somebody else will be like, don't say that. I never knew, man. Big Smoke, you're not a troll, right? You just trying to get me. You trying to pull a fast one on me. Now we're gonna get engaged with positivity. We're gonna change those trolls. We're gonna give them purpose. We're gonna come up in here and we're gonna show you. Listen, what are you doing with your time?
So funny. So I googled it just now to see what popped up, and like there's
Did it come up?
There's
Oh, you're gonna get flagged as a
racist. I figure out that's his name or what. I guess like this.
I really, honestly, I thought. Listen, I'm so gullible. I really thought that Big Smoke had somebody that he, was hurt or lost over there. I was like,
maybe,
oh shit.
But maybe because he also put in his family. I don't know, man. I don't know, but much love to everyone in Buffalo right now because their community is hurting.
Well, there's a lot more mass shootings this year. Like I heard also like the very next day there was like another mass shooting in a church in California.
Oh wow.
Maybe that's I heard that and I was like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have a feeling things are only going to get worse. For two reasons. One, the way nature of the economy, hard times, people start losing their shit. And two, we have an election year coming up. So, we got an election in a few months. So I'll leave it at that. Conspiracies.
Mm-hmm. Well, they just recently let out that there are aliens. It's been confirmed.
Did it? Did you look it up?
So maybe let's. No, I'm going based off of the information you gave me.
Oh no, I thought you got the laptop open. I thought you were looking it up. I was like, oh shit, she looked it up.
No, but thinking about it, like going into an election year, like we may have like an actual alien invasion this year. That might be coming.
Listen, I'm at this point.
That's scary, Fuzz, because you know what's gonna happen in the big city.
Fuzz, get out now! We're warning you. Don't be the guy on the roof when the freaking laser beam comes down. Get out now, Fuzz. I mean, we've been saying for a minute. You gotta move, Fuzz.
Do some more research into aluminum foil hats. See if they'll protect you.
But look it up. Go to Google, type like aliens, and then go to the news and see like what's pulling up in the articles. I'm just curious, like if there's any updates. Like, yeah, there's UFOs. Or type UFOs. Yeah, type UFOs and see if anything pops up. That's hilarious.
Oh my god, there's definitely something from like an hour ago. Let me pull this up.
New York City is definitely ground zero for everything, bro. It's gonna look if nukes. If people are really serious about us going, World War III and nukes popping off, New York City is gonna be a direct hit, right? Yeah. Just you gotta get out, Fuzz. You gotta get out.
So it's weird. So they're saying UFOs, but not aliens. So insufficient data to prove aliens are cause of mysterious UFOs.
Right,
UFOs
because the official
real danger, but aliens aren't to blame.
Yes, because the official terminology is unidentifying flying objects. So they don't know what it is, but they're not gonna jump the gun and say, "Oh, it's aliens."
Of course, they're talking about the border control because we typed in aliens.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Go type
Elon
in UFOs. Oh, he definitely does.
All right, UFOs.
Elon believes that we are currently living in a simulation.
New lawmaker warns at UFO hearing. They're a potential national security threat. Of course. Of course.
Yo, that's so typical of us, though. Instead of being like, hey, we come in peace, we want to get to know you. Shoot it down. We got the best planes. We got the best guns. Take it down now.
Because this is all like 55 minutes ago, an hour ago, 8 minutes ago, 3 hours ago. Like, this is what they're talking about right now.
Yeah, this is big news. They went to, I read it somewhere. It was the Navy is going up to Congress talking about UFOs.
All right, so we just did the quick version, Ray's version of just reading the headlines, and there you have it.
Just do that. Don't go for any more detail because once you go in, it's going to be somebody's opinions, and you're going to be brainwashed with opinions. That's hilarious. Anyway, see, yep. Yo, we lost Big Smoke, man. He was going to talk about weed.
He started talking about weed. He was like, it's a spliff. And that was all he gave us. That was
Hey,
it.
all good.
It
One
was
and
funny.
done.
They were trying to tell the difference between like sativa and indicas on the radio. And you know, you're starting to hear it. People are starting to talk about it because, you know, it's becoming legalized in, you know, many states. So they were talking about this morning, and I was like, dude, you're going about this all wrong. It's just indica in the couch. That's all you need to remember.
That's
But sure
hilarious.
enough, you know, indicas, they're the ones that give you that heavier body feeling that you're gonna feel like, oh, let me chill on the couch, maybe take a nap.
Take a nap.
First, like, if you want something that's
Take a
not
nap.
so high, that's not gonna make you so like tired, then stick to sativas because they kind of give you that little like that window of, hey, if I get focused into something, I can continue to work and produce and, you know, use my mind.
You know what I started reading up more too is microdosing. So a lot of people are like either microdosing like shrooms or iboga, even ayahuasca, and so they're taking these like because you know when you take a high dose of this, you start hallucinating, you start
Right.
like tripping balls and all that stuff. But they do the little microdose to kind of change their mood or kind of like give them like a certain like a certain vibe or clarity. So I was like, that was kind of cool. Man, I went down the whole rabbit hole of shrooms, and I really like. I was watching this guy. It's on YouTube, and like he really like he's harvesting like he has like a whole warehouse of all kinds of like mushrooms that he's like cultivating. And of course, you know, some of them are, you know, magic shrooms, and the other ones are just culinary shrooms. I was like, oh shit, this is cool. And so he just has like a whole business. Like he really wanted to be the mushroom man. Like he learned, he went to school, all the like the what's the word? Not chemistry, but the whole
Botany. Is it botany?
botany, of shrooms and how to grow it and everything. I was like watching this thing, I was like, man, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But there's like grow kits like you can get and all that, and it's like you just gotta feed it the right thing because I didn't, you know, watching this documentary, I didn't know that mushrooms like feed off of like dead stuff. So like you feed it off like dead wood. And that's what it feeds off, and that's how it grows.
Okay.
So I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's always cool that you know we all have different interests. You know, we all have different desires and like different ideas and different thought processes. So it's kind of cool to like see somebody like kind of in their element. Like, yo, I want to know about mushrooms, and here's what I did.
Right, and it like that to me. Those things are so inspiring because he. How crazy it sounds, growing mushrooms. Like, well, what are you doing with your life? Most people say that. Like, what are you doing with your life? What? Get into a real job. What are you doing? Growing mushrooms. And sure enough, here you go. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's getting like orders from like, you know, like top restaurants, right? He's also filling orders because, you know, there's other shrooms that you could take, almost like CBD. You know, like CBD oil and stuff like that. There's like shrooms that people put in coffee that just has like, you know, just good, you know, body healing properties, you know? And so they do all that stuff. It doesn't have all the psychedelic stuff. It has more of just like, you know, alleviating pain or helping, you know, calmness or whatever it may be. And so he's tapped into all that stuff. And he has like 5 different streams as far as like people just buying his inventory. Like, he has a huge ass warehouse and he's just chopping all this stuff and just selling it. But that's inspiring. That's inspiring.
Yeah. That's awesome. I wish him lots and lots of luck and prosperity.
But yeah, you hear all those stories all the time, like how a tattoo artist, you know, goes, you know, he was like a street artist, then becomes a tattoo artist. Then the next thing you know, he's like doing artwork, raps on like cars for like, you know, musicians, actors, you know, well, whoever, right? Then he's featuring like a Justin Bieber music video, and it's like, yo, he's like notoriously known now. Everybody in LA wants him or whatever. It's like that to me is very inspiring because like it's almost like a snowball effect of positivity, you know?
Yeah.
Just you got to stick with what you are trying to do.
Yeah.
Like before you quit, and that's why it's like that's what I hear a lot too. Like a lot of people they quit right before they're on that breaking point. Of blowing up. Like they quit and they're like, oh, this is nothing, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, if you would have just stuck with it maybe one more year, you would have been all this.
Yeah. It's perseverance. She's got to push through.
So you don't like the orange ones?
I don't like the orange, nah.
I do, man. You come out with some crazy flavors. I like the ones you have. I'm like, as soon as I go to your house, I always open your fridge. Like, oh, what's going on?
What do you got?
Yeah. That plus I know I have a couple of beers in the back somewhere. But what you had the raspberry lime? That was a good one.
That was a really good one. Yeah. But I
Mm-hmm.
switched brands because I like the slim cans. I just feel like I don't know why I like them, but I like that better than like the full
Cause
like
it
20 ounce.
because the slim cans feels like you're drinking alcohol right now, like a White Claw or something. So you could fake yourself out, like, oh yeah, I'm getting drunk
I've
tonight.
had that thought twice now that I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm like sipping this can like I'm drinking something.
And yes, I drink White Claw. My inner spirit animal is a white girl who likes pumpkin lattes, White Claw. I'm not gonna rock UGG boots. I just can't rock UGG boots.
Can't do
But
it.
I'm just saying, yeah, I love listen pumpkin spice lattes. Oh, so good.
I love Uggs. I have so many pairs of Uggs, but I don't do the whole classic Ugg thing. My Uggs are
You got
just
like
like
UGG shoes and stuff like
Uggs,
that,
and
but you
they
don't have
cute.
the actual like
They're Uggs.
UGG boots.
Yeah. They have like a new slipper, and I'm sure we're gonna be seeing them all summer long. But in
The
my
house
mind,
shoes.
it reminds me of Big Bird. You're gonna see them all summer. You're gonna think of me.
Well, you know what? I laugh, but like me and my boys, we all got.
Mhm. Oh, we lost you again. Oh, there you are. We got you back
Did you lose me? Did you lose me again?
for a moment. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Oh
Yeah. So
shit!
you and the boys, what?
I don't know if I answered that call though. Why do they keep calling me? I gotta
They're
put this thing
on
on
the
do not.
phone right now.
Hello? But yo, you're live on the air, caller. Can you hear me? Hello, caller. You're live on the air.
We're just reaching out to let you know that your factory warranty might have expired.
Yeah. No, what's the new one? The Biden administration has pushed back student loans. Have you been getting that
I
one, the
haven't
student
gotten
loan
that one.
ones?
No.
Oh my god, they're so annoying. They're like, if you act now, you would not have to repay your student loan.
I always
I'm
pick
like,
up in like my telephone voice too. I'm like, oh, I'm all like, hi, this is Lynn. I change the voice.
Canada,
And then
oh,
Gotti,
oh,
Ray.
got it. Canada. I want to go to Canada. I want a road trip up there.
Oh my god. So they
Camp out there. I want to go to the lakes and
listen to
everything.
this. So my daughter's in the grade where she's getting to choose what language she's going to learn in school. So
Mm-hmm.
they did a whole assembly for the whole grade, and they got like the Spanish teacher and the French teacher that kind of like give their spiel. The French teacher promised them a trip to Canada if they join
The French class?
So now my daughter's
Incentive?
like, I want to learn French. I'm like, oh my god, here we
But
go
you
again.
know what's sad? You know what's sad? That's literally how everything functions in our society this day.
You just
Like
have to
Biden came
dangle
out.
like a nice carrot. Like this is
Yeah,
what you
exactly.
want.
Dingo
This
and
is what you
carrot. Like
want.
Biden came out. Biden came out in 2020 and he was like, I'm wiping all college debt. And everybody was like, yeah, oh yeah. It's like, yo, dangle the carrot. Oh yeah, well, no, wouldn't that be wouldn't that be Hebrew?
Wait, you said
Be
wouldn't that
nice,
be
Ray.
Hebrew?
No. I didn't say nothing. Be nice, Ray.
I was processing. I was like, wait, what did you say?
You're gonna get me murked. Yo, you're gonna get me murked. On that note, let's end the show.
That was like something else in the news this week was like in Israel. It wasn't in Israel, was it? I don't know. It was somewhere out there. But they were like attacking the people who were carrying one of the journalists' caskets. Did you see like the video and everything where they were attacking everybody who was carrying the casket? And they like momentarily dropped the casket. Like it was just
Oh shit!
it was such a disgraceful like.
No, I didn't see that.
Scene. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like a SWAT team. Like they were coming out in force. And she was like she wasn't native to their area, but she was a reporter from the US. You know, and her ancestors are from over there, so she was like I don't know what she was. You
No,
know,
the only
Israeli.
casket
It's
scene.
like American Israeli if it was in Israel, but I don't remember where it was.
The only casket scene I know in my head is that meme where they're dancing with the casket, and that was actually put into Call of Duty. So then in Call of Duty, there's like a zombie portion where there's like
Uh-huh.
an Easter egg that you do, and if you do the Easter egg in Call of Duty,
Uh-huh.
the zombies just come out and they got a casket and they're all just dancing. That like just like that meme. That's the only thing I know of the casket. You're looking it up. Which one are you looking up? Call of Duty.
Oh no, the one I'm talking about. Yeah, here
Oh,
are
the
the.
clip.
Let's
They were
see.
attacked and everything.
Yeah, it was crazy.
When you said this happened in Israel.
Yeah, Israeli conduct uh journalist funeral. Yeah, so all these like military personnel were like attacking them. They were like beating them with sticks and everything while they were trying to have the funeral.
What's the context of all this? Like, why were they attacking them? Were they on like in a lockdown or something? With batons.
I can't press play, right? Because the video will do too much. There was unrest in Jerusalem Friday. That's why I was thinking Jerusalem. Establishment attended the burial of veteran Al Baziri. She was a journalist. Her name was Shireen. She was shot 2 days earlier while reporting on a military raid in the West Bank city of Jenin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't so much about the reasons why she died. It was more about the fact that this is the way their military is behaving. Like, what the hell?
Well, that's also going on in Ukraine. And once again, like I don't understand why everybody is popping the Ukraine flag. There's a laundry list of known journalists who are getting killed because they're reporting on what's going on in Ukraine.
Right.
And it's crazy. Like nobody's calling out. Of course, mainstream media is not going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I see the list, getting longer on Twitter. People are like, "Yo, remember these names?" Because they're out there. They're journalists. They're trying to show the truth of what's going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
Getting yeeted.
Mm.
So it's like, and once again, but you walk down your neighborhood, and what do you see? 7 Ukraine flags, 1 American flag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'm in awe by it. And when people are like, yo, I don't understand how, Hitler was over here talking and all these people were like, yeah, let's kill all these people. Like, where's the decency of people? People should have known. So people follow. People are lemmings. They want to be part of a cult.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And there's a massive cult right now. And you could see it. You could see who has the news, right? You could see who has media. You could see, who's putting out the agenda, who's putting out the message, right? That same cult. It's sad. It's sad. A lot of these people, they're following it, and they're just following it to the T. They believe in everything. And yet, it's funny because they'll put the flag, they got the flag in their profile, and a few months ago or a year ago, what was it? The black for, the blackout for like black BLM, right? And then a few months ago of that, what was it? I stand with Biden, right? What was it? A few months before that, what else was it? It's like, it's just crazy. That they just want to fit in. They want to fit in. They want to fit in.
They're just jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, and whatever, and that's how they know how to play them, because it's like whatever they're like. Okay, let's make them feel a certain type of way. So that goes back to your question, like when you were like, oh, these guys who are like protesting for women's rights, whatever it may be. A lot of these people protest because they just want to fit in.
Right.
And a lot of the guys, actually, I would say most of the guys who protest in like feminine marches and all that, they're trying to get laid. And that's the sad part, because
that
they
was,
don't see you like that.
I said that earlier. I'll pull that one out.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about it, is like they don't see you as a man, bro. Like if you're out there, they don't see you as masculine. They definitely don't. You're oozing with feminine energy, and with that feminine energy, ain't nobody. No, no. You're an ally. You're always gonna be in the friend zone, bro. So. I'll leave it at that. We did a full circle.
I feel like, if you find something, if you find a cause that you believe in, stand behind it. Whatever, even if it's not affecting you, even if if it's something that maybe affects someone you love, like stand behind it, ride with them, because we as Americans, we're all like, oh, we're entitled to freedom of speech and yada yada. But the reality is that as a society, we're not enforcing that in ourselves and within our culture, that it is okay to speak up. It is okay to, have a voice.
I will agree and disagree with you. I would agree is if you feel very moved to a cause to stand with it, but I would disagree in the sense that you got to keep it positive. Yeah. You got to keep it violence free. Because look at the summer, what was it? They called it the summer of love, but look at the billions of dollars in destruction. 30 people died from it, right? It's like that to me, that would not motivate me to your cause. You're being destructive. You're being a vigilante at that point. And they're already talking about this summer that, women are going out there and they're gonna be destructive because of what's going on with Roe versus Wade. And I'm like, no, that's not gonna sway me over.
Right.
You want me to hear your message? Cool. Do it peacefully. Mm-hmm. Do it peacefully. Peaceful protest. And if you look in history, if you look at the people in history, right? The people who did peaceful, protests, those are the ones that stood the test of time, right? Yeah. Those are the names you remember, right?
Gandhi, MLK.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So it's like, where do you want to go with it? Because at that point, you're not standing by a message. You're now activated by something nefarious that's making you be a soldier for them. Mm. With, once again, you're being manipulated with what? Good intentions.
Right.
That's what's going on with this world. And that's why look at Gandhi. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's where you got to understand that stuff. It's like when you start getting into the violence of it, you've been activated.
Yeah.
You've been activated as a soldier. And you've been misled. You've been manipulated.
To look at it.
You've been manipulated. So, but how do you build yourself so you don't get manipulated? It goes back to, what we've been talking about and then what we always talk about. You find your purpose, you develop who you are, right? You find your calling, you develop that self-confidence in you, right? So that when you go out there, you have your boundaries and you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. Look, I believe in the cause, but I'm not going to believe it to the point where I'm hurting people or I'm destroying things. Mm-hmm. I have an identity. I know who I am. Right. I don't need this. I don't need to fit in with you guys.
It's like they say, like, know what you stand for or you'll fall for anything. Like, know what you believe in.
Exactly. Oh, that was gorgeous. We should end the show on that one. That was beautiful. Yes. Know what you stand for or you will fall for anything.
Fall for anything.
I don't want to take the words out of your mouth. You say it. Yes, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. All right, so on that note, Lynn, go ahead and close it. That was gorgeous. We hit the 2-hour mark. It was an awesome show.
Well, thank you so much for joining again. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting, giving us some more content.
Yeah, it was a beautiful show. I know it was a lot. It's Tuesday. We're getting started. It's the beginning of the week. We'll come down a little bit on Tuesday. On Thursday. We'll end it on a soft note, getting into that weekend, But one last thing I want to say is, look, it's getting warm outside. Summer's coming. Make those summer plans. We talked about, people not taking vacation time. You need that. Take that time to, re-energize yourself, to reflect, find yourself.
Where you're just, going outside every day, start every morning with a walk.
A weekend getaway. It doesn't have to be a massive, I'm taking a week, cruise or something like that. If you got it like that, take it. Don't miss your opportunities. It's your life. Take the time to reinvent yourself, reinvigorate yourself, re-love yourself, love yourself. I keep saying that. Love thyself. Okay, Fuzz.
He's got a plan. He's going to stick to it.
Hey. Look, you could listen. You could make a whole event of it out of that, man. You could just be like, look, on Friday, I might not make it on Thursday. All right, Fuzz, we get it. Thank you for always being there, Fuzz. We'll miss you. The show will go on. It's just gonna be, it's gonna be a little dark because we don't have our Fuzzy. But we love you, Fuzz. Thank you for always tuning in and being a diehard, riding with us. Hopefully one day we can get to the point where we actually meet you. You know, we have to do a show with you, and you know, it's just we elevate together. So stay motivated, guys.
Take care.